Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. Massive machinery arrives at the Money Pit as the team begins the main treasure hunt. The Curse of Oak Island saw a massive amount of heavy machinery arrive on the island as the team began the big treasure hunt at the Money Pit. This week's episode was all about preparing for the big dig at the Money Pit and saw the arrival on Oak Island of some serious equipment, including a 220-ton crane, a 22-ton hammer grab, and of course, the 10-foot steel caissons. First off, the guys all met up in the war room to discuss what had to be done and to divvy up all the individual jobs. To say the mood was buoyant would be an understatement. The guys were really excited about what lies ahead. Marty Lagina was beaming from ear to ear, and he was wearing his lucky toonie, a Canadian $2 coin, around his neck. The first major task fell to Billy Gerhardt and his Gerhardt Home Improvement crew, who would have to stabilize the ground at the Money Pit. Years of drilling, digging, and blasting in the area has left the ground prone to cave-ins, which would only be exacerbated with heavy machinery placed on top. Thankfully, Billy set to bringing in and spreading out tons of gravel, which will help prevent the ground from collapsing under the big drills, and he was put in charge of making sure the whole area was safe, in general. Massive drill will dig up Oak Island Money Pit. Metal detectorist Gary Drayton was told to brace himself for the upcoming amount of metal detecting he'd have to do shortly. The giant 22-ton hammer grab will be pulling about 5 cubic yards of dirt out of the 10-foot caissons each time, and Gary will be expected to cover every inch of it, looking for any stray artifacts. Marty Lagina. There is definitely gold down there. As more and more machinery arrived throughout last night's episode, the excitement levels kept rising. When Vanessa Lucido, Rossi Equipment, and Irving Equipment turned up, everyone was gathered at the Money Pit to welcome them. Marty told the gathered treasure hunters, "There is definitely, for sure, completely, without a doubt, based on science, with no possibility of error, gold down there." All indicators seem to suggest that Marty is 100% correct. The water testing from last year revealed that there is gold and silver buried down there, and the sonic drill program has indicated the presence of tunnels and chambers. There's definitely something down there. Drilling will commence next week, and the guys are hopeful that the hammer grab might pull up the treasure all in one go. The Curse of Oak Island was no stranger to mystery, but this season, the stakes had never been higher. After years of digging, theorizing, and hoping, the team was finally ready to take their boldest step yet, the main treasure hunt at the infamous Money Pit. And as dawn broke over the island, something massive was rumbling in the distance. The machinery had arrived. It was a convoy unlike anything Oak Island had seen before. Towering cranes, drilling rigs, and a fleet of excavators rolled up, their engines roaring as they crossed the causeway and made their way toward the Money Pit. The sun glinted off the steel of the machines, casting long shadows on the island's rocky terrain. It was as if the island itself was waking up, aware that a new chapter was about to unfold in its centuries-old legend. Rick and Marty Lagina stood at the edge of the pit, their eyes scanning the colossal equipment that had been brought in. This wasn't just another exploratory dig. This was the real thing. They had spent years building up to this moment, and now it was time to throw everything they had into one final push. "It's like we're preparing for battle," Marty said, his voice carrying a mix of excitement and trepidation. Rick, ever the optimist, nodded. "We've spent too long chasing shadows. This time, we're going to uncover the truth." The team gathered around as the lead engineer briefed them on the plan. The machines would dig deeper than any previous expedition had dared to go. They were aiming for the fabled flood tunnels and vaults that had eluded treasure hunters for centuries. Every twist of the drill, every scoop of the excavator's claw, would bring them closer to the heart of the mystery that had haunted Oak Island for generations. Jack Begley, wide-eyed and brimming with anticipation, could hardly contain himself. Do you realize what this means? We're about to make history. Gary Drayton, holding his trusted metal detector like a soldier with his rifle, grinned. This is the big one, mate. The treasure's not hiding forever. Craig Tester, as ever, was the voice of reason. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a dangerous operation. We're going deeper than anyone has before. The risks are high. But the excitement was palpable. As the first of the massive machines roared to life, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The excavators moved with a precision that belied their size, methodically scraping away layers of earth that had long kept the money pit's secrets buried. The team watched in awe as the pit, now a gaping maw in the island's landscape, seemed to grow with every passing minute. Hours turned into days as the operation pushed deeper. The air was thick with dust, the constant hum of machinery filling the island. But with every layer of earth peeled away, the tension grew. Would they find what they were looking for? Or would the money pit once again prove itself to be a master of deception? Then, one afternoon, something happened that sent a jolt through the entire team. One of the drilling rigs, digging deeper than ever before, suddenly hit something solid. The drill bit clanged against what felt like metal. The machine groaned under the strain, but it had found something. "Shut it down," Rick called out, his heart racing. The machinery fell silent, and the team rushed over to inspect the drill core. As the section was pulled from the earth, there was a collective gasp. Embedded in the sediment were traces of wood, unmistakably from an ancient structure, and something else. What appeared to be fragments of iron. "Is that?" Marty began, his voice trailing off. Rick knelt down, running his fingers over the metallic shards. This could be part of a chest, or maybe even the flood tunnel mechanisms. Gary, eyes wide with excitement, swung his metal detector over the core sample, the machine letting out a series of sharp beeps. "There's more down there, I can feel it." The discovery reignited the team's spirits. If they had found this, what else lay waiting below? They were on the brink of something monumental, and everyone knew it. But the island wasn't about to give up its secrets so easily. As the machinery delved deeper, the ground began to shift in unexpected ways. Water seeped into the pit, the telltale sign of the fabled flood tunnels. The team had prepared for this, though, and quickly set to work reinforcing the sides of the dig. It was a race against time, the ancient booby traps of Oak Island battling against modern technology. Rick and Marty stood at the edge, watching as the crew worked furiously to keep the dig from collapsing. This was it, the moment they had been waiting for all these years, but it was also the most dangerous part of the operation. One wrong move, one structural failure, and it could all come crashing down. As night fell, the team decided to call it for the day. The machines were powered down, and silence once again settled over the island.